Okay guys, so I have been getting a lot of questions from a lot of people about what I do with all the items that I get from dumpster diving, and I've been doing a lot of things to keep them from going to waste. So I know I've talked a lot on my Facebook page and to a lot of my friends about how I'm dehydrating things. So like the onions and the peppers, bananas, things that I have extra of, I have been dehydrating to keep them from going bad before I can use everything. So I figured I'd share with you a little bit of that. So I am actually working on my green peppers. So I have 2 trays left on here, and I actually have 2 green peppers left. So I'm actually I've already washed them all. This is all the green peppers I've done. And I'm taking my knife and I'm just cutting, working from the outside and around. Okay, and that has completely gotten all the seeds out, and I don't have any seeds to deal with at all. So now I'm just going to slice these nice and thin. The thicker they are, the longer it's going to take in the dehydrator. So I'm just slicing them up and I'm putting them on my dehydrator trays. Now this dehydrator I actually purchased from somebody. It was brand new, they never used it. Found it on the Facebook Marketplace, got it really cheap, brand new. But I actually have another one as well. I have one that I got dumpster diving not long before the shutdown. So the only thing is I couldn't find the lid to it, but I can easily get a new lid for it. So that one, I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that. I might sell it, or I might keep it. I'm not sure. I haven't quite decided yet. So I am just slicing up my peppers. And I'm just spreading them out so the air can circulate all the way around them. And I'm putting the peppers down. It makes it easier for you to cut them. You can hold it still a lot easier. Just a lot easier to cut. If you don't have a dehydrator, I have actually dehydrated things as well, putting them in the oven. But the problem is most ovens don't go to the really low temperatures that you need. But I've even taken mine and turned it on and off to do it that way, so it doesn't, cook them up. But and I've even put them out in the sun or outside where they can dry out some. So I've done different ways to dry things out. Just trying to get as many on this one that I can. I have 1 tray left. And I have 1 green pepper left. So far I have dehydrated red onions, white onions, I've done apples, I've done, I haven't done grapes, I have done bananas, peppers. I think that's about all I have done. I had so many onions. The onions I'm probably, some of them I turned into minced onion, and some of them I'm keeping into the strips. And then I also may end up taking some of those onions and grinding them up. I can either use I have a tiny food processor, or I can do them by hand if I want to do a small amount. I know I'm not one for big chunks of onions and things, so it's another great option if you want a little bit of the flavor without biting into those chunks of onion. I ended up getting the dehydrator because I originally started out because of doing, I did dandelion jelly, I did purple violet jelly, and those things. I've done some plantain infused oils, which I'm actually going to use to make some lip balms and things like that. And I was going to use the dehydrator to make them last longer. I did all of it the old-fashioned way, either out sitting outside on the flats or in the baskets, spread out with cloths, or mostly the brown bags where you have to shake them up, put them in, and you have to let them dry out that way. But you have to make sure you shake them up because you don't want them sticking together, and you don't want the wetness to get in the middle of them. It's got to be paper, it can't be plastic, because that'll hold in the moisture and that'll make them get mold and things on them. So I've done most of them that way. But that was the main reason why I originally wanted to get the dehydrator, is to make that easy. I've also done plantain, chickweed, purple dead nettle. I have a little bit of everything, and I actually have this is chickweed infused oil. This is plantain infused oil. And I think the other one's in the basement. I have one that's a combination of the chickweed and the plantain, and they are good. They are good for, I'm going to make a first aid salve, as well as doing, and I've got essential oils I'm going to use to make flavors in that, to make some lip balms out of it. And I actually have beeswax over in the corner. All my jars and all that stuff is kind of piled up over there right now. So, but this is where I am with this. Here. The last ones I did, they took quite an amount of time. I think it was like 10-12 hours, so they were probably to where I would want them. So I'll just keep an eye on them. Sometimes if I'll move the racks around so that they'll dry more evenly, but the last time with the peppers I didn't really have too much of an issue. I may end up, after those are dried, I may end up doing some bananas, because I still have a mother load of bananas. As long as I'm talking about dehydrating, we will talk about these are the dandelions that Kat and I picked today, my fiance's daughter, and she helped me pick them, and I have already washed them to make sure all the bugs and stuff. I pulled all the stems off, and I actually cut off the ends of them so it's just the yellow part. So I would need these to dry out the rest of the way, but because I have them cut apart, if I put them in a dehydrator, they're going to fluff up and it's going to make a huge mess. So I've got them cut up. They're semi-dry in here now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in this brown paper bag. I'm just going to put it all down in here. Now this is a really big bag, but it's the one I had to have. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to fold this over. And I'm just going to shake it up. And that's just going to keep it from sticking together. I'm going to put this in a cool, dark place. I have, down in my pantry area, I have Rubbermaid closets, things with the shelves in them. So that's where I put mine. It's nice and dry down in my basement, in my pantry area, because I have a dehumidifier down there. And I'll go down there every day and I'll just shake it up, and that'll just make sure that nothing's sticking together and that we won't have any growth of mold or things like that. And this is a great way to do this, because I am not ready to use these yet. I am doing dandelion wine. I'm in the process of doing that, but I've already used dandelion that I already had processed. This isn't enough for me to do, and I don't want to mix my old with my new, so I'm going to use my older stuff, and I'm going to start dehydrating this. You only have a very short window for the dandelions because, as you know, they're not there for a real long time and you need a large amount of them to do anything. So even though the dandelions will be over with, I will still have my dandelions to be able to do things with. So I'm probably going to be doing a video on dandelion jelly, which I made last year at some point. So I'm just gathering my dandelions so I have enough to be able to do something else with, but I'm using up the older stuff first. So I don't want to lose the dandelions because you can't wait. Quick dehydrating. So these are the red onions I did. I did these on April 15th. These are the orange and the red sweet bell peppers. This is the celery, this tiny little jar. I have some apple slices. These are the banana chips. These are the white onions that I actually turned into mince. Some of them are in bigger pieces than others, but I've turned these white into minced with the crushing those up. And then here's my dandelion. I use half of them for starting my dandelion wine. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, if you haven't seen in one of my other videos, what I can do. And this is what I do with all of these. You'll notice that they do not have a thing on them. So I purchased these to go with Food Saver. I cannot afford a Food Saver. So these attachments, you can buy them pretty cheaply. I got mine on Amazon. And I'm just going to put it over the lip of my jar. And then I have my handy dandy brake bleeder. Yes, I said brake bleeder. It is never been used on a vehicle. This is brand new, but it is so worth it. I use it so often. So I'm just going to put my tube on there. I'm going to take my end. I'm just going to put it into that hole. And I'm just going to start squeezing. And it's slowly going up. So this is sucking out all the air out of it. You can do this with cookies, crackers, anything that you want to put in jars, and that'll help them stay good longer. I do that as well when I'm dumpster diving. If I have packaging like these goldfish, the outside of it had something yucky on it. I did not want to hold on to that. It's not really something, you know, I wanted to deal with, so I put it in here. So when he wants some, I can take some out. And I can just put the lid back on, or if I want it to stay fresher longer, and of course I have to keep switching sides because my hands get really tired fast. But that's just me. I have fibromyalgia, so my hands get tired. So I'm just going to keep, and there's a lot of air in there because this is a large container, but I'm not going to switch it to a smaller container because I don't have any sterilized containers ready, and I do like to have mine nice and sterilized, especially for the foods that I'm processing. So I'm just going to keep going till I just can't, it gets harder and harder to squeeze, and that's how you know the air is almost out. Oops. My son loves to do this. He'll come through and just sit there and do this for me. He just loves it. And of course he's a boy, so it's all, you know, he wants to show off his muscles. But the more I get out, the tighter the lid's going to go onto there. And I'm just going to pull it off. I'm going to take this off. As you can see, it's a nice tight lid. All of these, I always make sure I write on them what they are. This one I actually took a sticky thing and wrote it on there. But these all have what they are and the date that I originally did them. So I just wanted to show you my collection here, and that's kind of what I do with them. That helps them stay fresher longer. And then you just use the thing to just pop it back off. But I have all these nice fresh foods that are going to last longer. I'm thinking about taking my apple chips and my banana chips and combining them together with maybe some raisins. I haven't tried dehydrating grapes myself yet, but I just haven't had the grapes to do it. Although I do have some now. I guess it depends how many's left from everybody eating them. So, but this is what I do. It makes them last longer. I don't like the food to go to waste, especially times like now where money is tight. So I hope this helps you guys all a little bit, and I hope you enjoyed. So if you liked my video, give me a big old thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I have lots and lots of views on my videos as I'm looking back, but if you subscribe for my channel and hit that little notifications and hit all for the bell, you will get notified for all of my new videos as they come out. I do some kitchen stuff, I'm doing a mixture of a lot of different things. I love anything that's things that we can hand down, that's homemade, things that we can make out of things that are free, that don't cost us things, dumpster diving, couponing, all kinds of different things. So I like to just pass on my knowledge and share it with you guys, and hope that you can enjoy it. I'll see you guys.